If you've been following my channel for a while, then you might know that I've been interested in flying a drone, but also intimidated by it. Until now. This is the HOVERAir X1, a pocket-sized self-flying camera, and it is officially the first drone that I've ever flown. Even with my inexperience and slight fear of drones, it took me less than 5 minutes to get this drone up and flying, so I can easily say that this is a great drone for beginners. Maybe even the best drone for beginners. In this video, I'm going to show you how the drone works, including some key features that make it stand out from other drones, and of course, sample footage. This video is sponsored by HOVERAir X1, but for real, this is my first ever drone experience, and it's safe to say that I am hooked. Now let's start with some key features and take a closer look at this drone. First of all, it truly is pocket-sized. It weighs only 125 grams or 4.4 ounces. Its door is folded, so it may not look like a drone until you unfold it. It kind of folds up like a book. Then you'll clearly see that there are 4 mini propellers, all guarded by a surrounding cage. Now your fingers can still slip into these holes, but it offers a sense of protection that your hands won't get nipped by the propellers. Also, I feel more comfortable when this drone flies closer to me in follow mode because the propellers are guarded. In terms of video quality, the HOVERAir X1 can shoot MP4 videos in up to 2.7K 30 frames per second resolution, as well as JPEG photos. Now out of the box, it shoots everything in horizontal orientation, but you can connect to the phone app and choose vertical shooting mode, as well as unlock more settings. Now I'll speak more about the phone app connectivity later on in this video, but first of all, let's see just how easy it is to fly. Now everything you need to fly this drone and start shooting is right here. It has 32 gigabytes of built-in storage, so you don't even need a memory card. It also comes with a rechargeable battery installed. You can charge the drone by plugging it in via USB-C, but it's a lot faster to pop the battery out and use the optional battery charging hub. Now since we're on the subject, the battery life is rather short, for about 11 minutes of flight time or about 20 flight paths. But for the nature of how you're supposed to use this drone, a shorter battery life isn't the worst, because one of the biggest selling points about this drone is the fact that it's largely self-flying. You don't even need a controller to use it. In fact, I'm going to show you just how easy it is to use right here in my studio. We're going to see how this goes. I haven't actually done this yet. But first, we're going to start by turning on the drone. So the power button is here. We're going to long press until it turns on.
Current mode, hover.
The other cool thing about this drone is that it talks to you. And so we've confirmed that the drone is turned on. So now I'm going to use this middle button here to run through the different flight paths. There are 5 presets. I'm going to let the drone tell you what they all are.
Zoom out. Follow. Orbit. Bird eye. Custom. Dolly track. Hover.
You can also long press on the middle button to hear the current settings.
30 seconds. Hover.
When you're ready to fly, just hold the drone flat on the palm of your hand and just tap on the power button, and the drone will automatically fly itself as well as start and stop recording. When you're ready to land, just hold out your hand under the drone and it will land yourself. Or you can also grab it out of the air if you're brave enough. If you want to review your media or get it off of the device, simply plug it into a computer via USB-C or connect it to the phone app. It really doesn't get much easier than that. Now most of these presets have rather short durations of 30 to 60 seconds. So that's why I don't think having a lower battery life is a big deal for this drone. And I don't know about you guys, but 30 to 60 seconds is all of the drone footage that I typically need because I just weave it into my travel vlogs. But if you want to fly for longer durations, raise the altitude, or change the camera angle, or unlock manual flying mode, then you'll want to connect the drone to the accompanying phone app. Now, like the drone itself, the phone app is super easy to use, and it even has a figurine to visually show you how each of the presets work. You can also unlock other modes like dolly track, which is one of my favorites. This is when the camera automatically follows you but at a set distance. You can also use the phone app to turn on the proprietary noise reduction algorithm, which is so crazy. It records audio to your phone and it automatically removes the sound of the propellers because this drone, as you just heard, is a bit on the loud side for its size. All right, there's the drone. It is following me now. And what you might notice is that you're gonna hear pretty much none of the noise of the drone because the drone itself is actually quite noisy. But as long as we're using this sound recording feature, that is going to more or less eliminate the drone's own noise, which is pretty crazy. Next, we're gonna unlock manual mode on this drone. So to do that, you wanna go into the app and you wanna tap on modes. And you'll see a bunch of these interesting characters here, and they're kind of illustrating all of the presets here. We wanna scroll all the way down to manual control and just tap on use it. And now we not only have a preview of what the drone is seeing, but we also have all of our controls here. So let's get it up and running, see how it goes. All right, the drone is up and running. So now I can use the buttons on my phone to control it. Within the phone app, there are also mini tutorials to explain how the drone works. And I definitely recommend going over some of these before flying this drone because there are some limits to be aware of, which I'll talk about next. First of all, this drone doesn't have any collision sensors, but it did remarkably well when following me through tight spaces. Here I'm watching it maneuver around some tree branches, and I was really surprised at how well it handled it. Even though it didn't have those collision sensors, it seems to have some awareness of things around it. So again, I wouldn't push this too far, but it can do pretty well if there are some obstacles in the way. Also, because this drone is very lightweight, it can be affected by wind, and even a slight breeze can really throw it off. It does officially have level 4 wind resistance, which I'm not really sure what that means, but from what I've seen, it can withstand some wind. But you can see in this bird eye shot, which started up at 50 feet and was descending, that the footage is a little bit shaky in the descent. Now, one reason why this drone is so simple to fly is because it has advanced built-in technology that does not rely on GPS like some of those bigger DJI drones do. So for this drone, you'll never have to calibrate it or worry about GPS signal loss. Instead, the drone relies on its surroundings to know where it is. This is how it can land and take off from the palm of your hand. However, because of the unique way that this drone flies, there are some limited conditions for using it. You don't want to fly in dim lighting, over water, if there's more than a 10-meter height drop, or over surfaces with too little texture. It also is not recommended to fly in extreme weather conditions with rain or snow, or where particles might be in the air, like sand. So not great for flying at the beach, unfortunately. Also, don't fly in temperatures below 0 degrees Celsius or above 40 degrees Celsius. And of course, you'll want to follow any of your local drone flying restrictions. So with all of these restrictions in mind, plus the limited battery life, and the fact that you can't add a memory card, it really makes this drone more for casual use rather than professional use. However, it is rather pricey at $445 US for the combo, which comes with the battery charger and 2 batteries, or $387 for just the drone and a single battery. But it's still quite a bit cheaper than DJI drones. So again, for a beginner who's curious about drones but doesn't want to invest $500 or more, this is a great drone to get started with. And I'd argue that it has some features that are even the future of drone technology, with the self-flying modes. I've seen those self-flying modes on DJI drones that my partner Martin has owned. I haven't flown them, only he has. But I really like those. It's like the droney and some of those other preset modes. And I like that this drone really focuses on those. You can, do manual flying with it, but honestly, I just stick with those 5 presets, and I'm pretty happy with the results. But that was my experience with the HOVERair X1. You just saw me fly it indoors for the first time. It was a little scary, but honestly, it did pretty well, I thought. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. If you fly drones already, and if so, what your go-to drone is. Or if you're like me, you've wanted to fly a drone, but you've been a little too nervous to try it. If so, then this is a great starter drone for you, and I'd really recommend giving it a shot. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.